YouTube, man, welcome back to the channel, man. It's your favorite reactors. Favorite reactor, man. I'm back with another reaction video, man. Today we threw it back. We went all the way back. I think this video like 10 years old, bro. I was watching this last night when I was sitting on the couch, and it just so happened I was watching Mike Epps, and I seen Mike Epps made like a funny video of this. But then I realized, like, dang, bro, this is a real situation that I really don't think. I think this video like kind of overshadowed the situation that was at hand. This guy actually rescued like three young girls that have been missing for years. And I think people are familiar with the video, the funny video, but they ain't familiar with the whole situation. We're gonna get into it today, man. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're on the road to 100 subscribers. I think last time I checked, we was at 88. So if you're new to this channel, if you're new to this video, man, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, man. Let's get into it.
Charles, hey Charles, let me talk to you. I'm talking with Charles Ramsey. He's a neighbor. Walk me through again what happened this afternoon. You heard screaming.
Heard screaming. I'm eating my McDonald's. I come outside and I see this girl going nuts, trying to get out of her house. So I go on the porch.
Okay.
I go on the porch, and she says, "Help me get out. I've been in here a long time." So I figured it's a domestic violence dispute. So I open the door, and we can't get in that way because how the door is, it's so much that a body can't fit through, only your hand. So we could kick the bottom, and she comes out with the little girl, and she says, "Call 911." My name was Amanda Berry.
Did you know who that was when she said that?
When she told me, it didn't register until I got to call 911, and I'm like, I'm calling the 911 for Amanda Berry. I thought this girl was dead. You know what I mean? And she got on the phone and she said, "Yes, this is me." And the detective, Cook, right here, Detective Gregory Cook says, "Charles, do you know who you rescued?" I said,
Now, when did you see Gina?
about 5.
Good.
Bro, it's like so much going on that if you look at this video, you will automatically think, bro, this is a parody. This has got to be a joke. Bro, this is a serious video. He just super jittery. I think he's like, you know what I mean? Maybe did some drugs before. But every little sound, he like, I was eating my McDonald's and I heard a scream and then I was like, I couldn't out the door, man. Like he's just so animated with his stories though, man. But funny guy though.
So about 5 minutes after the police got here, see, the girl Amanda told the police, "I ain't just the only ones. It's some more girls up in that house." So they went up there, 30, 40 deep, and when they came out was just astonishing because I thought they were going to come up with nothing. I figured, whoever she was, and like I said, my neighbor, you got some big testicles to pull this off, bro, because we see this dude every day. I mean, every day.
How long have you lived here?
I've been here a year.
Okay.
You should come around.
Right.
I barbecue with this dude. We eat ribs and whatnot and listen to salsa music. You should come around.
You had no indication that there was anything.
Bro, not a clue that girl was in that house or anybody else was in there against their will. Because how he is he just comes out to his backyard, plays with the dogs, tinker with his cars and motorcycles, goes back in the house. So
Yo, but on a serious tip, he's just so animated though. But on a serious tip, bro, like this is a really, really serious issue just because of the simple fact that this is real life. You never know. That's why they tell you never know who you're living next to. Like back in the day, not back in the day, some people maybe still do it where you go and introduce yourself to like your neighbors and stuff like that. You get names and maybe you go look up some information, or when you move into a new neighborhood, is there kids missing from the neighborhood? Like the background checking thing is kind of, people really don't do that anymore. But you could be living next to a serial killer. You could be living next to a person who's abducting kids, sex trafficker, a drug dealer. You never know. Like those people who get homes and just never really leave their home unless they going to work or to the store or something. Never know who they never know who they living next to. Until a situation like this occurs, they never know who they living next to. And then they be like this. It'd be so astonishing because you just be like, I never knew. I just normally used to see him out there playing with his dog. I never seen any strange behavior. And then today I saved 3 girls that's been missing. But his storytelling is what like made the video so viral though.
Somebody you look away because he's not doing nothing but the average stuff. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing exciting about him. Well, until the day.
What was the reaction on the girls' faces?
It's like, bro, this is a real life news channel out here interviewing you, and you kind of like kicking in and cracking jokes about a serious situation, though, bro.
I can't imagine to see the sunlight, to be around.
I knew something was wrong when a little pretty white girl ran into a black man's arms. Something is wrong here. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
Charles, thank you very much.
Dead giveaway.
Thank you very much for your time. And
Either she homeless or she got problems. That's the only reason why she ran into a black man.
Charles, thank you for being there, man. Charles Ramsey, neighbor, heard the screaming, took action, went and did what he needed to do. The rest is unfolding before us here on CMAR. Gonna say
How crazy. But let's get into the real story, man. He said that was a dead giveaway, boy. But yeah, so I guess initially she called 911. It's weird. All right, let's get to it.
I'm the police. I've been doing that, and I've been missing for 10 years.
Okay, yeah, what's your address?
3207 Seymour Avenue.
Okay, talk to the police when they get there.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, talk to the police when they get there.
Okay, I'm right now.
We're gonna stop as soon as we get a car open.
No, it's not when we get back.
I told you they're on the way. Talk to them when they get there, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
The dispatcher seems kind of like not concerned, right? Would you say, hey, I told you they gonna be there in a little bit. Like, they on the way. Get off the phone. That's not what a dispatcher is supposed to do if a girl's telling you. I think the thing was, and like she said in the video, she's been missing for like 10 years. So I'm assuming people were calling in, faking, saying they either have Amanda Berry or that I'm Amanda Berry. Why would they be doing that? I don't know. But you could see like, what are you doing hanging the phone up on a victim? Like, that can't be. Any dispatchers out there that work? Come on, man. Leave it in the comments.
Dispatcher completely disregarded protocol. He was not supposed to hang up on her.
Hung up on her.
It only got worse when the neighbor called.
And this go my boy Charles right here.
Yeah, hey, bro, I'm at 2207 Seymour, West 25th. This car is turning.
Bro, what is what? He just don't know no better, bro. It's not like he's PR trained or anything like that, though. He's just saying how he feel, man.
Work out the house next door to me. She like this. They kidnapped me and my daughter, and we've been in this. She said her name was Brenda Berry or some. Sir, you know what I mean?
Sir, is she still in the street or where did she go?
Yeah, I'm looking at her. She right now. She calling y'all. She on another phone.
Can you ask her if she needs an ambulance?
She need everything. She's in a panic, bro. I guess she been kidnapped, so, put yourself in her shoes.
We'll tell the police officer.
Abducted, assaulted, and brutally abused for over a decade. Amanda Berry was trained.
You've been kidnapped since you were 16 years old. You probably, man, most people would I don't think you would ever just give up. I don't think you would ever give up because you know this is not your life. You know, like you're in just a terrible situation. Imagine being kidnapped and held against your will for 10 years. 10 years. Imagine where you were at 10 years ago. Right? Imagine that. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, dude. Man.
A wall in her neighbor's basement.
Not only would I never see my mother again, but I wouldn't see my sister, my family, or my friends for a decade.
She was forced to raise her daughter in captivity until the day she took it upon herself to save her friends and her family, finally putting an end to Ariel Castro's House of Horrors.
The source of hope for escape would come from the most unexpected place, 6-year-old Jocelyn.
In the city of Cleveland, Ohio, lively teenager Amanda Berry is wondering if she'll show up for work at her local Burger King.
I almost called off work that day because the next day was my birthday. My mom had came to the door and she came to give me a kiss and just tell me have a good day. I got ready for work.
But unfortunately, her life ended up taking a completely different turn after she finished her shift.
You know, what if I would have caught off that day?
Not everyone's life runs in straight lines. At Sophia, we get that. Our flexible, affordable, self-paced college level.
On friendly face, Ariel Castro, the neighborhood school bus driver and father of one of her good friends.
And he asked, do you need a ride home? I said, yes. You know, it's a friend's dad. And he's like, well, she's at my house. Would you like to go see her? I said, yeah, sure. I haven't seen her in a while.
Without any suspicion, Amanda agreed, as it's been a while since she had seen Ariel's daughter. She got into his car and followed him into his home once they arrived.
So he started showing me around the house. And I never got back out.
Inside, they headed towards the basement, and she noticed that an unknown woman was watching TV in one of the rooms, but didn't think much of it. Ariel went on to say that she was only renting the room and living there as a roommate. Further down the basement, Ariel claimed that his daughter was taking a bath. At this point, Amanda was probably starting to notice how weird the situation was, as all the windows were nailed shut and tinted black.
When he took me to the next bedroom, it was just really dark in there, and he told me to hold up.
Man, these dudes are so fucking weird,
Helmet on her head and turned up the radio at max volume to cover up her screams.
And that guy did used to say the Charles dude. I don't think I got enough time in this video, but I seen one of his other interviews. He said that the guy used to like play salsa music like super loud, like all the time. You can hear it from down the block. He said he turned up his music like one time loud, and he had like had to say something to him.
The same moment, she noticed that Michelle Knight, the girl she signed the other room, was also chained to the wall.
He just left me there. He shut the lights off, and I just started screaming and crying, and somebody please help me.
The police were dumbfounded. To them, she truly disappeared without a trace.
Amanda Berry, when she first went missing, her mother, Rwanda Miller, was on the TV pleading for her return.
My daughter should not be kept off the news like that, but it's just so frustrating.
Soon after
What's
that, Castro called her mother with her phone.
She said, yeah, I said, please let me talk to her. Let me hear her voice. Just let me know she's there. Let me know she's okay. Silence. And then,
I ain't gonna lie, I got distracted.
Talk to her. Was on the TV.
Hold on.
Please help me.
She noticed that Michelle Knight, the girl she signed the other room, was also chained to the wall.
He just left me there. He shut the lights off, and I just started screaming and crying, and somebody please help me.
The police were dumbfounded. To them, she truly disappeared without a trace.
Amanda Berry, when she first went missing, her mother, Rwanda Miller, was on the TV pleading for her return.
My daughter should not be kept off the news like that, but it's just so frustrating.
Soon after that, Castro called her mother with her phone.
She said, yeah, I said, please let me talk to her. Let me hear her voice. Just let me know she's there. Let me know she's okay.
The nigga he called the mom off the phone? What did he say to her?
Silence. And then he hung up on me.
Police started trying to track that phone, and that was one of the first cases of trying to track a phone like that.
The intelligence and the information we have indicated that a man's phone was used in about a 30-40 block area.
You gotta realize this is like 10 years ago, right? So we don't have the same technology as we do today. They said a lot of missing children, like laws or whatever, like protocol they're supposed to take had changed after this situation though. So I know you're probably thinking like, hey, if he calls, because that's the same thing I was thinking, but then I realized we're like 10 years behind right now.
About a week around the clock, hoping that this phone would be used again.
But Castro knew better. To avoid any suspicion, he took part in the civilian search party and even attended the public officials that were organized by Amanda's family.
How much of a monster are you when you could go to that girl's parents and say, you know, I've been looking day and night, I can't find her.
Ooh.
Introducing Prop Money Inc.'s new Real Aid.
Ooh, but that's some sick stuff, boy. That is some sick stuff. Somebody. Then you have the nerve. I mean, I guess you want to know what's going on. You got the nerve to be out there trying to help find a girl that you have in your basement.
One weird detail at the time was the disregard from the police towards Castro's divorced wife, Grimilda. 2 years into the case, she attempted to get him arrested on various charges. She wasn't aware of the kidnapping, but went through a similar situation herself in the past.
He beat my sister, he stomped on her head, he kicked her in the stomach.
So before the girl, she was the one being chained up in the basement. And once they got divorced, he started to frequently abduct his own daughter from Grimilda's house. Every time one of these crimes were committed, she contacted the police, but Castro never got arrested.
My understanding from the records is that she suffered a broken nose twice. She had broken teeth and she otherwise was abused, but they were never followed through as a conviction.
The violence of his outburst towards her ultimately ended up killing her. She developed an inoperable brain tumor following all the head injuries she suffered from him. None of these claims were followed. Castro never had to pay for his crimes towards Grimilda. But Amanda, determined to record Castro's abuse, kept a secret diary filled with hidden codes. For example, X meant that she had been raped, sometimes up to 5 times a day.
I would always write these numbers at the top of the pages because I felt like, one day maybe authorities will get to read it and he'll be punished for what he did.
3 years into the case, the whole house was turned into a dungeon.
It was a veritable house of horror, from the basement all the way up to the 2nd floor. Amanda, Michelle, chained up.
I was so scared that I was gonna die. I didn't think that I was gonna ever make it home.
At this point, Castro kidnapped a third girl, 14-year-old Gina De Jesus. He kept them starving and prevented them access to basic care.
It was all boarded up. The doors were nailed to the front windows.
The bolts holding the doors against the windows were sheared off, and this may look like a normal window from the outside, but every glass panel was actually replaced with high-grade plexiglass. And since Castro extended the dungeon to the whole house, each of the girls now had their own room with a TV.
The news comes out like 5:30 now, so day after day, I watched a lot of TV.
And after the kidnapping of Gina, the police finally made the connection between the cases. And there was even an episode of America Most Wanted dedicated to them.
Amanda Berry vanished on April 21st, 2003. 14-year-old Gina De Jesus left school. She never made it home.
In this episode, Luana was heavily featured, and this gave Amanda's hope.
And I said, you know what, I'm gonna make it home to you. As long as you fight, I'm gonna fight.
For 3 years, Luana Miller fought hard to find Amanda.
The holidays are coming and going, and my baby ain't home. Is she out there? Is she...
This is a question for the moms, right? What, because it's hard to like word it. What pain is worse, right? Knowing that your kid is, you getting that call that your kid is dead and gone, or your kid is missing for 10 years, right? I would think it would be the dead and gone, because you know that like, they're at rest, they're, you know what I'm saying, in a better place. When they're missing, you don't know if they're alive, you don't know if they're just getting tormented, you don't know if you know what I'm saying, like the tortured, you don't know, you really don't know what's going on. So man, maybe that's a simple question to ask, but
somewhere.
You know me.
At that point, Amanda's favorite show was the Montel Show, especially the segment with the psychic Sylvia Brown.
I would watch her every time she was on Montel, and I'd say, I wish my mom would go on there. And then she could tell my mom that I was alive and that I'm okay.
The case started to catch a lot of attention from the media, and eventually, Luana was invited to meet Sylvia Brown and ask her about her daughter.
I don't think I'll ever see her again.
Yeah, in heaven on the other side. I just hate that she's not alive with me.
Luana was devastated, as was Amanda.
I just broke down crying because I couldn't believe she said that.
They both went into a long, depressive episode. She even took down the picture of Amanda she had hung around the city.
And she just gave up hope. And the huge tragedy is that she would die before Amanda.
One of the last things she did before she died was to try one last time to get the search for her daughter moving. Apparently, she just couldn't believe she was gone.
I think that was the hardest part. She was always fighting, and she was never going to give up on me. And for her to get sick, and
she got
I
sick?
couldn't be there with her. I couldn't help her when she was sick.
And I think everyone knew that really she died of heartbreak.
In what could only be described as a twist of fate, Amanda became pregnant around the same time her mother passed away. Similarly to the Gisli Dugard case we already covered, Amanda saw her coming child as a gift from her mother. And for the first
this
time
is
in years,
crazy
she
to
felt
know.
hopeful.
Castro used her and the others as sex slaves. As a result, Amanda became pregnant and gave birth to her daughter Jocelyn, the bright light that made the darkness bearable and gave her a reason to live.
Amanda named named her Jocelyn, and Castro sent her down the basement with the girls.
This is his kid. You know, how do I feel about that? She resembled him a lot. And I would look at her, and I just felt like, she's mine. She's mine.
Even if the circumstances were dire, Amanda did the best she could to properly raise her.
I really didn't have the control to do what I wanted or to teach her what I wanted. And I kind of had to go through everything with him.
As her daughter grew up, Amanda eventually started to rearrange the room for it to look more like a classroom. She would ask her to use her imagination to visualize the street, the car, and the stop signs.
We would pretend walk to school. I tried to make it as real as possible for her, you know. So we would lock the door and we would walk to school, cross streets, and I would tell her, you know, stop at green lights and look both ways when it's a red light.
Jiffy Lube's fast 15-minute oil change service is even faster than Joey Logano trying to find his car key.
And we would finally get to school and I would sit her down and tell her, okay.
This is just a crazy situation. I'm not gonna really probably watch all of the video. I might watch a little bit more to just kind of see what happened that day as opposed to what happened 9 years ago. Like what was different that day where you felt like, hey, this is my chance, or did a screw come up loose in the door or something? Like I just want to know. We're probably gonna get to that part. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, that's just a crazy situation, right? So a family friend asks you if you want to ride home and then just kidnaps you, you know? So that's a little bit different than the situation from the last video I did a review on. A little bit different situation. We never really found out if he was basically on the same day, if he said the same thing, right? I could just give you a ride home. You don't got to walk the rest of the way. We don't know what really happened in the rest of that video. But rest in peace to her. She ended up actually passing away. So rest in peace to that girl. But we're going to finish this up and just see what happened that day. I really want to know what happened that day.
I love you.
So I might skip it.
And then I would become her teacher.
This is Ariel's as her daughter reaction after she saw a picture of Jocelyn.
And he showed me a picture that was in his cell phone. And I said, she's cute. Who is that? And he said, this is my girlfriend's child. And I said, Dad, that girl looks like Emily. Emily's my younger sister.
Maybe she thought it was suspicious, but couldn't have known to which extent her father went to get his hand on this child. And this is where Castro's own sensibilities came into play. Because as much of a monster as he was, he loved his daughter and didn't want her to live her whole life in captivity.
Ultimately, he never did anything, he never laid a hand on Jocelyn.
So he started to take her outside. First in the courtyard, then in parks. One day she even got to see the sunlight on her face through a crack in the window.
It was the most beautiful thing. I just felt like that's where she should always be.
Around the same time, Jocelyn started to be more and more dubious about the chains and shackles her mother was forced to wear.
Them Jones are getting rusty. Yeah, that's what it is. They getting rusty and old. He's a weirdo. So I'm not even trying to think of him on somebody that's sick like that. But something had to happen where it was just like, today is the day.
So he started to call them bracelets, and she was about 2, almost 3 years old, and he finally took the chains off of me, and that was because of Jocelyn.
As Amanda and Jocelyn were living a life of their own inside the house, the clock kept ticking in the outside world. So after 10 years in the loss of Luana, the only person still looking for Amanda seems to be her sister Beth.
I'm hoping she's out there somewhere. I mean, I don't care. Just come home.
They are still waiting and still hoping. FBI agents and police are searching for the remains of a missing teen, Amanda Berry. 7 years ago tonight. It was 8 years ago tonight. It's been 9 years.
Yeah, I feel like as long as they don't find if you ain't gonna find the body nowhere, if my kid comes up missing and you haven't found the body, the kid is still alive in my eyes, and we just gonna rock out until we either find them or we get any type of other information. But it was a girl at my job, right? I never met the girl before. I never met her daughter before, but she was in a similar situation. Her mom was like a good friend of mine, right? And her boyfriend that she was with at the time, like, did that to her around Christmas time. I think it was like last year. It was a big story here in Oklahoma City. last year, he had basically like kidnapped him. You know, kidnapped him, and he planned on killing him. Just like slashed the tires from him and everything, so they couldn't leave the house. He kept beating on her and everything like that. Mind you, this is one of my friends though. This girl, like, I seen the news article and I'm like, I couldn't believe it that she had been going through this for like 5 days. But she's real cool. I mean, I rock with her though. But her daughter ended up having to save them, save their life. I think she just got a phone one day and ended up calling 911 and ended up saving her life because the dude ended up really killing him. She tell me that every time I used to talk, because I used to not want to bring up the situation to him, but I was just so intrigued because it was like you only really see things like this on YouTube, right? Or stuff that you review. So to really hear or listen and try to like figure out like what was going through her mind at the time was like I just couldn't stop. I don't know. Like every time I was around her, I was either talking about her daughter or trying to figure out. So not all the time, but some of the times we would just be, you know what I'm saying, chopping it up. I'd just be like, dang, bro, like. That was a crazy situation because it was crazy to me.
Amanda Berry, Gina DeJesus disappeared.
Today marks 10 years since Cleveland teenager Amanda Berry disappeared. She was 16 years old.
Those who knew Amanda Berry gathered to remember.
Gina's family has been gathering right here at this corner. After a while, we thought these girls will never be found. They're dead. They're gone.
After 11 years in captivity, everything changed on the morning of May 6, 2013.
It's a warm spring day.
That's what I want to see.
The source of hope for escape would come from the most unexpected place. 6-year-old Jocelyn.
Build a website you love.
The girl is 6 years old now. I wonder if she told her. You think that? I wonder if she told her that, hey, this is not. We're being held captive. I think at one point, like maybe 5, I wonder if the girl ever knew that this is not like. This is not what I'm supposed to be, because you got to realize she's a baby, so she don't really know what's going on. Now she's 6 years old. I'm wondering at one point if she's starting to ask questions like, and her mom is telling her like, yeah, we got to get out of here.
Others said something to her that changed both of their lives.
And she's like, Mom, Daddy's car is gone. My heart immediately started pounding. Should I chance it? If I'm gonna do it, I need to do it now.
This was her only chance. Probably the only chance she would ever get, since it was the first time they forgot to lock her door.
Never before in 10 years has that happened. I'm like, okay, now I just gotta fly out this front screen door and I'm free. And that didn't happen.
As with everything else in the house, the screen door was locked from the outside. But by pushing as hard as she can, Amanda was able to create a small opening.
So I'm just like waving my arm and I'm like, somebody please help me. I'm Amanda Berry.
She started banging and pushing against it like her life depended on it. And Charles Ramsey, Castro's neighbor, happened to be outside on his porch. He ran to the door to see if he could help.
She said, get me out of this house.
He kind of like started like trying to pull on the door, but he couldn't get it open either. And so he like kind of kicks it.
Out comes Amanda. What do we do? Right, call the police.
You ain't on 911. Oh, yeah, Amanda Berry. Oh, thank you, man. I've been missing for 10 years, and I'm here. I'm free now.
The police are on the way. Well, how will you get there?
I just,
She like this. They kidnapped me and my daughter, and we've been in it. She said her name was Brenda Berry or something.
Can you ask her if she needs an ambulance?
She did everything. She in a panic run since she been kidnapped.
Amanda Berry. I've been on the news for the last 2 years.
Okay, I got that. And you said, what was his name again?
Ariel Castro.
And what's he wearing?
No, this is not here right now. That's what I'm
Ariel Castro?
Gina, that's the name of Amanda Berry.
It's not Ariel.
I was terrified. And just because there's people on the street doesn't mean that he wouldn't hurt me.
Now, we both called 911. She did with a moron. Me too.
The woman was like, oh, hang up and wait for the police.
Hey, Amanda Berry is right in front of me right now. Wait a minute, I thought this girl was dead. Amanda Berry, that don't ring no damn bells, you being a cop and all.
She was thin, pale. And I told her we've been looking for you for a long time.
The police on site couldn't believe they were still alive after all these years.
It was just like getting smacked in the face, like, holy cow, she's still alive.
Then she gives us, well, there's 2 more girls in the house.
We found them. We found them.
Once I saw that, I'm like, you know, this is it. I think we're free now.
After the rescue, Amanda pulled out a flyer and explained to the police that she held to it for years.
And then she said, I smell it sometimes because my mother was holding this flyer. Breaks your heart. Sorry.
The girl is done.
Once her sister Beth arrived on site, Amanda was overwhelmed, and she jumped in her arms.
She was just really skinny and short hair, but she was still beautiful.
After they were rescued, the police searched the whole house and found a confession pen by Castro himself. But to be sure that he would stay in jail, they needed more than that. And this is where Amanda Diaries came into play.
Shout out to that man. Sad situation right there, but at least it turned out to be a good situation, man. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, man, and I'll see y'all in the next video.